All right, guys. I'm just gonna make this quick video, letting you guys know my opinion because they're about to announce Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. They're probably gonna fight later on this year. If you look at the internet, you look at the sources, everyone's talking about that Tyron Woodley has accepted a fight with Jake Paul, and they're gonna announce it. And it looks like he's gonna announce it tomorrow or something. So prepared to hear that announcement. But I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen in this fight. I got Logan Paul winning this fight. Now some people might think, but how? Tyrone Woodley is always been known as a striker in the UFC. Yes, he's always been known as a striker, but Tyrone Woodley, and he's definitely better when it comes to the striking department than somebody like Van Askren. Yes, 100%. But Tyrone Woodley is washed up. Tyrone Woodley is absolutely washed up. If you saw my prediction on the last time he fought, which was before he fought Kobe Covington. No, it was when he fought Kobe Covington. I said in the Kobe Covington fight, I said that Tyrone Woodley had no desire at all to win. And when he fought Kobe Covington, you saw it. You saw it. He looked like he had no passion. Tyron Woodley has not had that hunger and that desire to win a fight in a long time. He showed it a little bit in his last fight in the UFC. But prior to that, he was showing absolutely no passion when it comes to winning a fight in his sport in MMA. And I feel that this is one of those situations where Tyrone Woodley is looking at this as a big payday. Because when he was fighting in the MMA in the UFC in these last 4 fights that he's had in the UFC, he looks like a guy who was just going in there for a paycheck. Like he was not actually trying to win fights. He was not actually trying to win fights at all. Against Covington, he didn't try at all. When he fought Burns, he did not try at all. When he fought Kamaru Usman, he did not try. Like he did not try to win none of those fights. So I look at this, in my opinion, I feel that he already started not caring back when he was fighting in the UFC, and that's why I feel like he just went there for the paydays because, like I said, he was not trying to win anymore. And I think he's gonna do the exact same thing here. I highly doubt that you're gonna see Tyrone Woodley show any ambition. So what you're seeing in here is you're seeing a guy in Tyrone Woodley facing a guy because he knows it's an easy payday. Right, so he already knows he's on the slide. He's almost 40 years old. He's on the slide. He's been on the slide. He has no desire to win anymore. And somebody like Ben Askren got paid $500K to fight. Uh, you know, what's his name? Jake Paul. $500K, $500,000, and he was never a champion in the UFC. Tyron Woodley had a bigger fan base. He was a champion. He was a reigning champion. He defended his belts a few times. So he's probably going to get paid more. And the sad part is he's probably going to get paid more in this fight against Jake Paul than he ever did in the UFC for any one fight, because as we all know, in the UFC fighters don't really get paid that much, especially compared to boxers. They get paid, not even half of what boxers made, especially like the really high paying boxers, even the average boxers. But I think this is just a money grab. I think he's going to do the exact same thing he did when he was fighting in the UFC in his last couple of fights. He's going to go in there with no ambition, and he's going to go in there for a paycheck. And you will see Jake Paul knock him out, because even though Jake Paul is an amateur, and he is a boxing amateur, Jake Paul is young, and for him this means something. When you look at Jake Paul fighting, you could tell that it means something for him. He has ambition, right? Like even when he fought Ben Askren, when he fought what's his name, Nate, I forgot, Nate Robinson, when he won, and as he was preparing for this fight, you could see that he really was training hard. Like he really was training to win these fights. When he won, you saw it in his face, the emotion, the celebration. He was very thrilled and very excited that he won. It means something to him. He's a young guy. He's like 25 years old or something, or 24. So for him, this means something, right? For him, it's a purpose. He's trying to, it means something. So because it means something, he actually trains hard. He actually wants to win. He actually, when he fights, he shows ambition. He makes a lot of amateur mistakes, but when you see him fight, you could tell he's actually trying to hurt the guy he's fighting. He's actually trying to win. So even though he's an amateur, he has that, ambition that he wants to win, like that hunger that he wants to win. So in this fight, you're gonna have a guy who's an amateur, but he's a hungry dude who wants to win, who has the ambition, and he definitely has power, right? And he's only improving because he's in there with coaches that are helping him out, boxing coaches that are training him, and he's gonna be up in there against a guy who's not a boxer in Tyron Woodley, a guy who has no more desire to win fights in Tyron Woodley, and a guy who, in my opinion, is going into this fight for a paycheck. Do not be surprised, and I really want to bet on this fight. Do not be surprised if this fight ends in 2 rounds. Keep in mind also, Tyron Woodley is a guy who fought at 170. He's a welterweight. Jake Paul, and he's a small guy. He's like 5'8", 5'9". Jake Paul is a guy who is basically he's a cruiserweight, 200, 195. He's basically a cruiserweight. He's 6'1", so he's gonna have a massive size advantage. He's gonna have the youth advantage. He's gonna have the ambition, which I think it's when it comes to sports, every type of like physical sport, I think ambition is a very big thing that you know change. If a fighter has ambition, they go a long way, even if they don't have the skill set of some of their opponents. Ambition and the will to win makes them go far. How many times have you seen guys who are professional fighters but aren't that great, and they're fighting in there against a guy who's better when it comes to boxing skills, and because that guy has so ambition and because that guy has so much heart, he ends up winning against the guy who has better boxing skills. And that's why I see in this fight, Jake Paul is an amateur boxer, but Jake Paul has ambition and he has power and he actually wants to win. So he's gonna go into this fight winning because it means something to him. But Tyron Woodley does not have that ambition anymore, and he's not a boxer. And at 39 years old, he's not gonna change and think. Look at his last 4 fights. He showed no ambition in his last 4 fights. He's not going to change his mindset at 39 years old. He looks at this fight as just a money grab for him. He's about to retire. He might as well retire on top with a big paycheck, whatever they pay him, maybe 600K. He might as well go out and go out with that type of money. So I don't think he's gonna. I think it's gonna be an embarrassment for him. I think he's gonna. They're gonna create memes for him, but I think he's okay with that. I think Tyron Woodley doesn't even care. I think he knows that's gonna happen because people are gonna make fun of him. They're gonna make memes of him, but I don't think he cares because when he was fighting in the UFC in his last 4 fights, he acted like he showed no ambition, like he does not care. So I think this is what you're gonna see, and I really want to bet on this fight because I have a feeling it's gonna end in 2 rounds by knockout. So I really want to bet. Hopefully I grow the balls to bet on this fight because last time I did not bet. I was going to bet on Ben Askren to lose, to get knocked out, and I didn't do it. And I instantly regretted it because you saw what happened in the Ben Askren fight. He got knocked out in 1 round. So I'm really thinking about betting on this fight because I think it's going to go 2 rounds, maybe 1 round. But I think he's going to get knocked out because there's no ambition there. I'm sorry. There just is not. Um, what do you guys think of this fight if it actually happens? I believe it's going to be announced tomorrow. I hope this video goes viral. It won't, but I hope it goes viral. So when that actually happens, because right now people are actually believing that Tyron Woodley is going to beat Jake Paul. People are believing it because they look at his past fights. Oh, look at him when he knocked out I always forget the dude he fought, but look at him when he was in his prime, basically back in the day. Robbie Lawyer, look at him when he knocked out Robbie Lawyer. Look at him when he was younger. They keep reminiscing on him when he was younger, when he had ambition. This is not 2011, 2013. This is an older version of Tyron Woodley, a version that, in my opinion, shows no ambition to win fights anymore. So you have to look at the current. You can't look at the past Tyron Woodley and think that's the Tyron Woodley that's going to show up. You have to look at what you've seen in his last few fights. And I see a guy that doesn't want to win fights and doesn't even care. That's the main thing. He doesn't care about winning. He just wants that money. So, I'm picking him to lose, and I'm picking Jake Paul to win. And I might be wrong, but I hope that this video goes viral. So, when this happens, you could see that, wrecked by McGregor. He predicted this, because right now people think that, Tyron Woodley is gonna win because he's a puncher and he's a striker. But I don't see that happening. I don't see a guy with ambition. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.